Good.
Yes, we are live and recording from the Center of Peace. And I want to welcome everyone here in person and all of you out there in spirit. And I know people are watching in California and Michigan. I've been getting lots of emails, lots of private messages on Facebook. So if you can't be here, this way you're here virtually. So that's a really, really good thing. We're going to be speaking tonight a lot about full circle. You're going to notice that everywhere you're going, things are going full circle. What does that mean? You're going back to point of origin on so many things. It's not a circle like a trapped circular energy that we've been learning through the wheel of karma. It's more like a present time circle, the eternal circle that's never broken. You're going to find yourself with people, situations where everything, you look around and you're present and you go, wow, 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 this happened, and it's all here now. And it's an understanding of why you've been on the journey that you've been on, and it's come full circle. And we have a choice right now, and I want to really emphasize this because I'm feeling it so strongly. I felt it through the whole time of Passover and Easter and all the energies that we've been going through. People are, as we're in this full circle, and you're out of that circle of drama, and you're the dot that was going around the circle. Now you're in the center, becoming aware of what this panoramic view of your life is about. You have a choice, because you can't keep going around in the circle. There's no more circular action. We're going to be going ascending up, or you're going to be descending down. How do we ascend up? Through surrender, actualizing unconditional love, being present. How do we descend and spiral down? Through fear-based reality, through staying stuck in those tapes in your head that give you limited thinking, those things that tell you you're bad, that you're doing it wrong, or it can never change, or staying in the same drama. It's time to disconnect from any drama that you're in. I went through a few weeks of where I really thought I had Tourette's. It was like walking around like swearing, saying things. I'm going, why am I swearing? Why am I so mad? Why am I mute? It's kind of like anything that was activating me, I had to release it. I was not hurling things at people. I was alone. But it would just be, okay, I've got to move this energy. I've got to move this energy. I would find myself doing self-talk, saying, I can't stand this anymore. I don't want to do it this way anymore. I get it. And I know a lot of you can identify with this out there because it's what's been going on. In 43 years of doing private counseling with people, this is what I'm hearing from everybody. They're going, why am I so angry? Why am I so animated? Why are things so activating to me? It's because to heal the things that are not right, to bring forth things that were hidden in the darkness, they have to come up to be healed. Depression is not a disease. Depression are denied emotions. They are things that are pushed down. So these labels that doctors give people, you're depressed, you're this, you're that, it's only things that you have pushed down and down and down and down. And it's not just from current things, it's from childhood, it's from past lives. Those things will no longer be denied. Your feeling body, your emotional body will no longer be denied. That's what's been happening over the last few months, is that instead of your normal way of avoiding pain, avoiding feeling, avoiding sensing, and we've been guarding our feelings for so long, those things aren't working anymore. So they have to erupt out. So that's part of what's been happening. Again, we've talked about this in past weeks. What do a lot of people do when they're depressed? They close down, they sleep a lot, That's not going on so much for any of us. You probably noticed there's a lack of sleep. So if you used to escape into sleeping, getting in that tunnel and putting the covers over your head, that's not working anymore. Lots of people used to eat lots of stuff. You may find that when you start to eat that gallon of ice cream or that box of cookies or eat a big bowl of pasta, halfway through it you're going, this really is not filling the void. You may find that if you had a couple cocktails, that after a couple cocktails you're going, I'm still feeling something and it's uncomfortable. You're going to find that whatever, you maybe work. So many people work to avoid. They work to avoid going home. They work to avoid being alone. They work to not deal with the emotional things that have been coming up over and over for themselves. You won't be able to do it. The only way out is in. The only way to healing and to the ascension that is so much occurring for all of us is to be in your life, be conscious, and to get off of the wheel of karma. It's not serving you, and actually it's not really moving anymore. I've talked about this a lot, that it used to be, to me, the wheel of karma would be kind of like the being on a merry-go-round, where you're going around, horses are moving up and down, so it's kind of distracting, but pretty soon you realize you are just seeing the same scenery and it's very boring. To me, what's happening in the way Spirit's reflecting things to me to reflect to you, the merry-go-round stopped. So it's kind of like, okay, the merry-go-round stopped. There's another way to reflect a teaching I gave a while back, where the one major aspect of the Mayan calendar that ended on October 28th of 2011, and I told people that it was the perception of time as linear is what collapsed at that time. It was like a big dump truck backed up over everybody's lives, and in one place put your karma. Another way to look at it, because it's what's being reflected to me right now, the merry-go-round stopped. So all of a sudden, almost 18 months ago, instead of being able to keep going around in the merry-go-round and have the illusion that you're going somewhere, because some things are moving up and down, and there's music, and there's distraction, and there's things to kind of look at in a cyclical way, your merry-go-round stopped. And where did it stop? It stopped right where your lessons were, right on the point of your path of what you've been working on for lifetimes. And so you wake up every day, and talk about Groundhog Day, but it's not cyclical. So you wake up every day and you go, oh, the pile's still there. Oh, why am I not amused anymore? Why am I not being able to turn on the radio or have a drink or work a lot or eat some food or distract myself? Because the merry-go-round stopped. Why did it stop? Because learning through repetition, learning through self meeting self in the sense of every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, learning through this repeating and repeating and repeating of the same lesson is not working. And that's why at this point everybody's going, I can't take it anymore, I don't want to do this anymore. And because it's in your face. It's not in any way cyclical. It's just here. How do we deal with this? You surrender to it. And even when I know these things, in the last few weeks, last few days, I've had moments I'm going, but I thought I did. What more can I do to surrender? What more can I do to open to embrace my lessons? And why does it still feel yucky sometimes? And why? Because it's like peeling away layers of an onion. We didn't get here overnight. It's like death is a process, birth is a process. And even though we're no longer learning through that merry-go-round and it stopped for you, what I want you to get a perception in your mind, we're going to do a meditation tonight a little bit on this. Get off of that circle. One of the most ancient symbols on earth is the circle, and see yourself as a dot. You're stationary. You're like there's all these spokes and there's this wheel. You're that cog in the middle. You're that spot. Even right now, start to visualize yourself stationary. Stationary. Because in some ways, things are still whirling around, especially if you're dealing with people who are choosing to stay in fear-based reality. People are choosing to stay in duality. So you become stationary. Get off the ride. It's because it's not, your ride broke down. It's not there anymore. Just plant yourself in the middle of that circle that is you and your life. See yourself as a magnet and not as a you-know-what magnet. I mean, how many times have we said, I think I'm a you-know-what magnet? Cancel those thoughts. You don't want to be that kind of magnet anymore. You want to see yourself as a magnet that's attracting only your highest good. You can never go wrong when you focus on, I surrender to my true divine path. I want to actualize why I am here on this earth. I want to bring into this lifetime all of who I am. I want all of my abilities, all of my being to be able to feel safe to be this beautiful spiritual being that I am in a physical body. And I'm willing to let go of the things that are not of the light. I'm willing to let go of what my lower mind may have perceived was what I really wanted. I'm willing to let go of that pain of hanging on to things that are not working. The more you do this, the more you say, I want the divine plan. Encode it in everybody's body. We have our physical DNA, which is very strong, of course, but we also have the creator DNA. That's the great God gene that they're talking about, and the other 90% of the brain that we have that we don't know why it's there, right? We have a higher creation. If we were made, Elohim means we, in our image, we made them male and female. Obviously, if there's a manifestation in this level of duality of the yin and the yang, the male and the female, the creator is not a male god. It's not a goddess. It is the god and the goddess. It's the male and the female. It's the yin and the yang. And there's a union. And we're in the time of the recognition of healing the enmity between the male and the female, the yin and the yang. So another good image you want to start to think about is that no matter what your childhood was like, no matter what your DNA is like, your earth parents' legacies, you're in a position right now to come into full activation of your original divine blueprint, because encoded in every cell of your being is that divine pattern. You've all seen the studies they've done on water and the effect of thought forms on water. How when people are thinking and sending positive thoughts to the water, these beautiful formations come in. When people send negative thought forms, that it's just distorted and angry and negative energy. It's the same thing. It's what happens. Thoughts are things, mind is the builder. Know that you do have higher energies within yourself. When scriptures of different religions talk about sins of the fathers that go through 7 generations, they're talking about weaknesses of the body, mind, and spirit that go through 7 generations. And you all hear stories in your family of, well, this person died young, or this person had breast cancer, or this person had a heart attack when they were 49, or, you know, it's in my family to do this or that. It's not just the physicality. There are family patternings that happen, where stories that you'll hear from your family that seem to, no matter what people do, repeat. You all, what you want to do is listen to your own family stories and patternings and see how that is affecting your life. How much of your life are you living out a legacy of what people that have gone before you, good, bad, and different, have lived out? And know that at this point in our evolution, at this point in present time, you are emerging. You are this beautiful individuated self that it's not about your DNA. It's not about what happened before. It's not about the mistakes you made before. It's not about repeating over and over again things that happened that you're ashamed of, that you have fear or guilt about. Those things are not factors. And so to heal the things that are aberrant, to heal the things that decisions you've made that you are still blaming yourself for, you've had to face them. And I'm going to tell you that between now and May 5th, and this date keeps coming to me very strongly, and it's not just a day to drink and do Cinco de Mayo and drink margaritas. Hey, that's kind of fun, but why not? Maybe we'll celebrate because May 5th will be a big liberation day. And it's actually, I didn't even think about it, but I'm born November 5th, so it's my exact 6-month opposition to my sun sign. So, yeah, but between now and May 5th, this awakening that you're going through, that we're all going through, is going to be so different than the last few days, the last few weeks. The loneliness, there's so many words we could put on things that people are describing. People have felt so alone. People have felt so isolated. They have felt so rejected. They have felt all the things that are archetypical in this world that we go through. Many people have worked through those things, so they're feeling other feelings and emotions. And this is the neat thing. You're going to stop having a lot of duality where it's like really good things and really bad things, or really this kind of roller coaster. As you know that you're on firm ground now, very positive things will be reflected back to you. You're going to be meeting people. You're going to be meeting situations, magnetizing to yourself people, opportunities that are way different than what you've been in before. So don't despair. There's been a lot of death. The last couple of weeks have been very, very intense. My mother's in a very serious decline in Hooverwood, and yeah, she's fading. Every day I've gotten phone calls from people that their mothers died, their fathers died, their different people are going, their animals are dying. Let's just put it like this. The gate is wide open right now for people making transition. And once again, there is no death. Love never dies. But it's getting used to that loss of the physical form. But as you start to embrace that energy, it all changes. It's like with my mother. When I've gone to see her, there was a big flu epidemic where the nursing home she was in, and lots of people, you couldn't even go in the nursing home for 2 weeks. They quarantined it. People died. This was in January. She never came. She was walking and she was fine. She's 90, but she's never come back up from it. So I noticed, but then I really noticed, and then I really noticed, and then I really noticed, and then I realized that, and it's like what we all do, when we see things, people, situations, we have a tendency to withdraw, and Spirit said, no, you have to go in. And and people were saying, oh, well, she's not talking to us, she doesn't know us. I'm going, yeah, she does. Yeah, she knows you. So when I go in, and I'm saying this to anybody, any of you that have loved ones that supposedly have dementia, that supposedly have whatever labels they put on people, don't let what you're seeing scare you. Don't let what your perception of how there should be a relating going on block you. It's just like when I deal in my healing practice with children or animals, I get on the floor. And when I go to people's houses to work with their animals, they go, oh, you're supposed to know about animal behavior. Why would you be in a submissive form? And I'm like, it's not submissive. It's called eye level. It's called I'm connecting. And it's all this duality thing we get into about how somebody has to be dominant or submissive or, this kind of thing. Same thing with my mother. Same thing with any of you. If you have if you find yourself in this situation, don't be put off by what is happening or not happening. The most important thing for your loved one is to be touched, is to be held. There's role reversal, and it's one of the hardest things for people to do because you still want your mother or your father to be your mother or your father. So you go through this whole stage of things, right? So with her, what I do when I'm there, I right away she knows me, and she's at that point of dementia where she can't get the words. But the minute you touch her, she grabs your hand. I lay down with her. You make eye contact. And what a lot of people do that I see in there, and I've seen people that go to see her, and they'll go, Joyce, how are you? It's like, well, she's fine, but you don't know it because you're trying to get her to talk to you like that narrow little world you live in that you think she should be talking to you, right? And we all do it. I'm not judging. I mean, I had to learn how to do some of this with her. The important thing, it's not about this conversation. The biggest language, of course, we have is love and touch and feeling. And they said, well, I said, where's the baby doll? For a long time, she had a baby doll with her. And all of a sudden, the baby doll disappeared. Well, we don't know. And all of a sudden, her glasses were off. Well, when I go, I put her glasses on, I show her pictures. Sure, she's withdrawn. That's what they do. Her dentures were hurting her, so she's not been eating. She's tiny. But right away, I go in, and a dear friend of hers who I've known since she was a young girl, Gretchen, was there and gave her liquids. And she looked at her, and she says, oh my God, she's dehydrated. And put stuff on her lips. It's just that tuning in. And I think what happens, especially in a lot of all facilities, people get burned out. It's not that it's a bad care, but nobody's going to care for your loved one or your child or your parent or anybody but you. So you have to connect. So when you go visit people or you have these kind of situations around you, and I'm using it just because I'm going through this right now my own self, be interactive. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. Connect in. Same thing. Start talking to her. How do you have pain? Right away she's going, yes. And we're going, okay, where do you have pain? She's pointing to her right hip and her right leg. So I tell the nurse, and they go, like they didn't believe me. So then they go and she tells them the same thing. But they weren't, it's like everything in life, right? And so then they give her, because there was no pain medication prescribed for her, right? So it's these kind of things, and even take it out of that paradigm. In your everyday life, what's going to be happening as barriers, as facades are removed, and as you're stationary and in this magnetic place, you'll start to attract people, situations to yourself, and instead of the old way you might have connected in or perceived barriers or found yourself relating to someone just in a rote way, you'll find yourself, whatever person, animal, situation, whether it be personal, work, you're going to find yourself, because your facades are gone and the fear is healing, truly being able to connect in and relate. So take these paradigms into relationships. If you're involved with somebody, it's very difficult what happens after a while, we shut down. I call it being mother deaf or father deaf or child deaf or husband deaf. We do selective hearing. It's blah, blah, blah. So we go, yeah, I'm just going to be the same way. So, as you're shifting, and even if you have a perception that that person you're in a relationship with of any kind is not changing, I guarantee you they are. You know why? There's only one big body of spirit. We're all cells in that body. It's like a domino. As you change, it goes out like dominoes that have been set in a pattern around you. Know the power of your own thoughts, your own perceptions, your own way of choice of how you deal with things and how you don't deal with things. So when you're dealing with people that are very familiar, and this is why they say familiarity breeds contempt, because it does. It's true. We get very burnt out on familiar people. And so we start to go, I think I'll just ignore them. Let me go on the computer. Let me do whatever I need to do to not deal with these people. If you take, again, the time to go, whoa, okay, I'm going to go home tonight, or whatever's going on, people around you, and just be in this loving space and really look at my dog, my cat, my husband, my lover, my friend, my whoever. Or you might be alone, so you have to wait till you go to work or somewhere else to find somebody to look at. Or look at yourself in the mirror even. You're going to find, if you are in that present moment and you are totally connecting in an engaged way within yourself, and it will send out a ripple effect to whoever's around you. And you'll find yourself, frequency-wise, you're not matching where you used to be locked, where you used to be trapped, where you used to be captured in a story. We find people, in psychological terms, we find people, we call it with matching pictures. Doesn't mean that they're exactly like us, but we'll find people that have very similar, they've had similar experiences, or we'll find people that will remind us of our mother or our father or something very familiar. You're going to find that as there's this healing of patterning, the facades of even people who don't choose to listen to things like this or work on themselves or claim that they aren't spiritual, they don't want to know about this stuff, everybody's facades are gone. Everybody's. So when you're dealing with people, look at them, connect, totally connect in. Don't make assumptions. That's the other thing. To protect ourselves, we make these assumptions. We assume that it's going to be like it was yesterday or like it was last week or whatever. Know that everybody right now, we're like malleable clay. We're all being reshaped and reformed. The old body is broken. The old mold is broken. Whatever ways you were set in or things you thought were written in stone, your true spirit is emerging and you're malleable. You're this beautiful, beautiful light that is seeking true expression. Well, it's not just you, it's other people. So again, another image is to think of the universe as one big body. I always go back to this because when I was a little child, that's how I saw it, always. I never saw things as separate from me. Things always felt like they were connected. And little children and animals, that's really how they perceive things, because they're staying in that alpha state. They're staying in that place where the right brain, left brain are not at war. They're just in that moment of present time, and that wonderful sense of just being and connecting. So every day make conscious choices about how you're relating to people. Make an effort. Make an effort when you're out, because there's so much fear-based reality. And you find yourself, and I will even find myself, sometimes I go to a store and all of a sudden I'll think, oh, I wonder if there's a bad person around. We're so inundated with like, oh, keep your key out because if somebody attacks you, you can stab them with your key. And I mean, really, really bizarre. I mean, it's not bizarre, but this like, you're afraid to go to the grocery store. I go to Whole Foods, so usually people are pretty gentle in there. It's usually pretty good energy in there, but if you know what I'm talking about. You try to, of course, there's a healthy fear. Now, I'm going to go into that too. Because we don't want to be euphanoid. The opposite of paranoid is euphanoid. So we don't want to be like la 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 la, and everything's beautiful, and there's sinister bad things out there that can prey on you. We don't want that either. There's a healthy primal fear that when you clear out, as you get clearer and clearer of junk, if there's a true and imminent danger, I guarantee you, you will know it. You will feel it. And where do most people feel it? In their gut. It's a gut feeling. And I know you've all met people, situations where you knew immediately you should not trust them. You shouldn't go in there. You shouldn't do this. But what did you do? You did it. you go, hey, I think I'll date you. No, I think I'll just throw myself into this. And again, it's that familiarity of like, we're taught to like, that the brain is superior, that the lower mind is superior. And so we'll argue. We'll go against the gut feeling. Listen to your gut. Feel your gut. You're going to feel your body more and more as you're healing the pain. Again, pain's not your enemy. So where you've been feeling pain on all the different levels, and the more you breathe into it and the pain goes away, real and imminent danger will become extremely apparent to you, and you'll know exactly what you're doing. The other thing about that, when you are in a true place of your open heart and you're in your centered place, the dark energy stays away from you. It really does. I'm almost invisible when I go, because sometimes I have to go places that are really, what some people might think would be bad neighborhoods or, blah, blah, blah. It's like almost like people don't see me. Because I'm not in a reactive place. I'm not sitting there going, ooh, I better hunker down and put the, this arm ring on or whatever. Your protection is not about being fearful. Animals sense fear. It's many times why dogs will bite people, why dogs will attack, why cats will attack. Animals smell fear, and so do predators. So do people that are predators. And even if, they teach you all the videos of like walking a certain way so you're not a victim, there's a real olfactory thing that goes out in different levels when you're truly inside afraid. So the more you can feel safe from your inside, you will start to attract people who are safe, situations that are safe, things that are of a higher frequency. And it's a very real thing, and I'm going into this for a reason, because as in this next month, because this is April 3rd, as we're going into this next month, you're going to find more and more and more that things look different, people look different, and it's because the veil is removed. The facades are being removed. You're going to see more and more, what's this? What's swirling around? I'm getting phone calls from people, and they're calling me at night, and they're going, I never saw anything in my life, but the room is full of people. or I'm hearing music, or hearing conversations. What is this? To me, nothing is paranormal because I was born the way I am. I remember my birth and where I was before. So nothing is paranormal to me. But a lot of people are, because of the veil being rent and torn in two, and the illusion of separation is being healed, are opening to their hearing, feeling, seeing, their gifts of spirit. I mean, because there's no, if you have eyes to see, ears to hear, and you're clearing your fear, there's vast realms of life out there that you're going to pick up on. And so at first, for some people, it's frightening. It's like, oh, what, what. And what I find most fascinating, of course, is a lot of people that, they want to have these experiences. They're not having them so much. The people that go to all the ghost stuff, and they want to see the stuff and have stuff. And then you get, just normal person on the street who could normally care less about it. They're the ones having this profound experience of the paranormal, and it's happening to everybody. So know that you're not alone. You are not who you were. You're who you really are. That's a weird thing. Your real essence of your real life is what's manifesting, and the things that are not right, that are out of balance, have been exposed, and you won't be able to go back into them. You won't be able to go back into them. People are calling and they're saying, this is really weird, but my floor, something happened in my house, and there's like a board broke, or a refrigerator broke, or big things are happening. You're going to find as we change in frequency, your home is your consciousness. And when there's a big change in your own frequency, you will find that sometimes computers will go out, refrigerators will break, hot water heaters will break. Floors are your foundation. Every room in your house is symbolic. Kitchens are mother, nurturing. So you want to pay attention to your consciousness that's around you. And so as you're changing and you're really tuning into your home, you may find also that things you've lived with for a long time, you all of a sudden go, oh my God, what's this pile of crap? Let me get it out of here. And because you're aware of it now. You didn't realize it was a pile of garbage. It's stuff you don't want anymore. It's like you'll almost feel like, oh my God, I have to get this out of my house. Or you'll find yourself, maybe you loved a certain color for a long time. You don't like the color anymore. Why? Because colors that we're attracted to or repelled by are usually colors that are in our aura. What's the aura? It's the electromagnetic field. What are chakras? It's the endocrine system. It's the reflection of our spirit body in the wheels of light. That's all chakra means. And everybody, maybe not everybody, but people have done the aura photography. And you go and they're really cool cameras, and I'd love to have them. They cost like $25,000. It's an outrageous amount of money. They're really cool, and they're very real. I've got them from different, I have several through the years, and they're really interesting in the fact that things do show up in whatever color. If you're angry, or if you're this or that, you'll see the orange, you'll see the red. Or if you're going through big transition, you'll see the green, or you'll see the blue, or you'll see, they can actually measure the aura now. So we know we have this aura. So notice that as well. So if you're waking up and you put on certain clothes, you've always liked to wear a certain color, you may find yourself taking it off and going, ooh, this doesn't feel good anymore. Because you're a changed being. You're not who you were. You're not who you were yesterday, I guarantee you. What we've all been going through is this shedding. We're like snakes shedding their skin. And the last of the flakes are on us. The last of the stuff that you just need to just get off of you are going to be annoying. So really pay attention to this shedding that's going on. And again, engage with it. Don't go, ooh, I see this stuff, I'm going to try to ignore it. Take action. Pick up that pile of stuff and get rid of it, or go through it. Or if you're seeing something you think, I hate this color, pick a color you like and get a paintbrush and change it. Move your energy. It's like move or die. Move or die. You are not separate from anything. Everything around you is a mirror, is a true reflection. And it's changing so fast sometimes you can't keep up with it. I know you can all identify with this. Just when I think, okay, I'm going to do this, by the time I start doing it, it's like, no, okay, no, wait a minute. No, I get another picture. I'm getting a higher picture of how to cope with it or how to do something. So you're going to find that too, that don't get frustrated when we're no longer in that time of, again, this linear thing, but we're spiraling, like I told you, spiraling up or spiraling down. So you will have that experience where you'll have something, an idea, and you'll go to initiate it, and by the time it's in, and sometimes it's a moment and twinkling of an eye, something else comes in that's better. Just keep following it. Don't get frustrated. Don't think, well, God, why am I crazy? Why I thought this was going to be the way it was. Just keep moving, because that's the way the energy is right now. That's truly the way the energy is right now. We're no longer in this time of right or wrong, mistakes. This healing process is all about forgiveness and you being aware you are not captured, you are not a slave to certain things, it's not written in stone that your fate is a certain thing. It's not that way. You are the Lord of your creation, especially the more you will take responsibility, the more you will go into your core being, you can manifest anything you need, anything that you want. So it's the time to do it. You're going to find also that more and more and more, as you're thinking of things, as you're connecting with things, as you're remembering things, it's like tonight when I walked in the room and somebody had called me today that they want a husky, and I looked at, it's so interesting the way it's so, we're in such a manifesting time, and so, oh my God, I can't, so many words you can't even put it into words, but anyway, Allison's here who does animal rescue, and she just brought a kitty cat tonight for Barbara, who said she wanted a cat, and so this beautiful cat's here roaming around. We will to get a little picture of the kitty sometime. And I go, oh yeah, the husky, we need a husky. Somebody wants a husky, and Melissa goes, hey, that's how we met. Don't you remember? You were at the PetSmart or whatever over there, and we were looking for a dog, and they brought this red husky, and you came to our house to see if that was going to be the match. And it's so, and I wasn't even consciously in this level connecting those dots. You're going to find that more and more and more. Again, full circle. We're totally in this full circle vibration. You didn't get that crazy red husky. Your husband wanted a husky. Yeah, and now you have Baxter and Lucky. Well, you had Baxter, and you got Lucky. And he got Lucky. And he's awesome. And he loves the baby. I love you. Yeah, he's wonderful dogs. So it's that way now. Nothing, there's not a disconnect. The illusion of that disconnection is healing, and it's gone. It's totally gone. So, does anybody have a question before we do a meditation? Anybody have anything you want to ask or share? Or is anybody, I don't know if we put anything out there about questions. Okay.
Could you explain a little bit more about the oracle, like your colors? I mean
about the aura?
About your aura colors.
Yeah, and when we do, again, when we do the meditation tonight, and different people have different systems. When I go through the chakras, when I go through the energy fields, it's the way that they were kind of taught to me by Spirit. We all have a root chakra, and it's like a giant taproot, and it's the color black. Why is it black? Because it's the color of the earth. It's like from the bottoms of our feet too. We have this intricate system that connects us deep to the earth. But the first chakra, the root chakra, is the color black. It's not black because it's not a negative thing. It's not it's the color of the earth. The second chakra, the sexual reproductive area of the body, is red. And it's red for a reason. It's about life-giving blood, right? The red is power in the blood. It's about creation. It's about passion. That's why they paint restaurants red, so you'll eat, right? Red's very stimulating. It's a very, so they use the red cape to, unfortunately, bullfighting. Red is a very powerful, and again, it's a powerful color that can be used, anything can be used in a negative or positive. When we get up into, I call it the central sun, the third chakra is a yellow-orange color. Because to me, this whole area of the body, if the center of our body is, if our body is a microcosm of the macrocosm, then the navel is the center of your being. It's your omphalos, the center. And so I see this is like the big central sun. Green and pink are the colors of the heart chakra. Green is the color of healing. Pink is the color of unconditional love. And they're colors that are always associated with the heart chakra. Sapphire blue is always associated with the throat. And what Spirit has shown me is when we do the guided meditation is to always even bring that energy up into the gums, the teeth, the ears, to fill that energy up into those areas. The third eye is connected with the pineal pituitary glands, and the functioning of those is the opening of the third eye. And that's connected, in the way I perceive it, with the color of purple that's like the red purple, the red-based purple, the violet flame, the violet energy. The crown chakra, just like royalty, the crown is connected with the purple that is blue-based. It's more the that royal purple color, right? And so, and on and on. And there, of course, there's variations of things like that, but they tend to be very accurate. And then another thing that I'm sure you've all had the experience with, and that's why you see it in religious paintings, are the halo. The easiest way to see somebody else's energy field is right here. It's the strongest emanation. So, and a lot of times when you're very tired, or we're doing teachings like this, a lot of people go, "Oh my God, I can see this person's aura," or I see gold around you, or I see white around you. That's a very common thing. That's just like the religious paintings. There'd be an emanation of the gold or white. Yeah.
Well, what's the point of getting a picture taken to see the color of your aura when it's going to change throughout the day, correctly?
It doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, because
that's
sometimes
what
it doesn't.
Displayed at New Age, and I thought, well, okay, for me to go get. We had left your house, and I thought this was an exhausting day. We found the owners of the dog, so now I'm like exhausted having tea. So if it's going to turn out to be black or something because I'm so tired, why would I,
No, because what's interesting is that the basic color will stay for a long time, and you might see something move into the field. When you do the aura pictures, there's usually a big field of something, and if there's something else there, your basic field will stay the same unless you go through big changes. Yeah.
Well, how will you know through those pictures? Because I wanted to get one done, but nobody really, they can kind of guide you, the girls said, but I don't think anybody really knows what you look for.
They don't know.
Yeah, they have no
They don't
clue.
know.
So why would I spend that amount of money?
But, right, exactly. And you don't have to.
Yeah.
Or you just get, if you ever get, a feeling, okay, I think I do want to see it. They're kind of fun to look at. Yeah, but I agree.
But there's no purpose for it.
But the purpose for some people is that they can actually then know they do have an energy field. It's a really concrete thing for some people, so they can actually, whoa, okay. And yeah, so yeah.
When you brought that up,
I agree.
I've been curious.
Yeah,
I'm like, what would benefit me from doing that?
Right, and the only thing, like I said, it satisfies. Sometimes it's just a really interesting thing. Like I said, every 4 or 5 years, if I'm around somebody that has one, I'll do one or something. So yeah, and they change in certain ways, and then certain things will always stay the same. So yeah, it's
Thank
like
you.
that. Yeah, that's a good question because it's what it's like. And color is very interesting because how it really does affect us. So really pay attention to those frequencies right now, because you will find yourself opening up to other probably colors than you normally would have. The other picture I keep getting, and it's two different forms, we're like horses that have had blinders on because we've been climbing a very steep level of consciousness. And as we've been climbing, it's kind of like don't look to the left, don't look to the right, because it's kind of, that's why they put the blinders on horses or mules so they don't freak out and see how high they are. What's happening now is the blinders are off. So you're up at a really high place and you're getting a panoramic vision, and at first it's been overwhelming. So you're going to find yourself also going, whoa, what am I seeing now? Because you're not going to be allowed, there's no need to have that tunnel vision anymore. You're going to find yourself, as you're opening and feeling safer to open with different levels of your being, more and more things are going to flood in. So know that this vast, bigger realm of perception is open to you. And keep looking, keep expanding. Don't stop. Stop and enjoy the view and take a look, but don't assume that this is as high as you're going to get, or this is, okay, this is a really cool place. Keep going, because it's probably the most common thing I'm seeing around my own self, and I'm seeing around everybody, is that in the journey that we're all on right now, when you're going to stay in the centered place, all that you need is going to be attracted to you. Don't fill up and go, okay, this is good. Don't settle. Don't settle. You're going to have lots of things. There's a lot of abrupt endings right now with people's jobs, people's relationships, and but there's also a lot of new beginnings with people's jobs and people's relationships. A lot of people have had perceptions that they wanted to do something as a career, and all of a sudden they're waking up and going, I really think this isn't good. I don't think I want to do it anymore. And that can be a scary thing for people too. Know that you're not crazy. Know that there's another thing that will open up for you. Your true path. That's the thing. Anything that's not authentic is not going to last anymore. You're not going to be able to hang on to things that are not real. They will become more and more and more elusive. So it's time to get real. It's time to know that what you feel, what you think, what you do, everything goes out into a rate of frequency or vibration. A commonly asked question that people ask me all the time is, how do you do what you do? How do you read people? And you know, and as you've all noticed, when I do readings or anything, I don't even know that I'm doing it. I close my eyes. So, there are people that will accuse people, oh, they read body language. Those psychics, they're looking for the body, if they're, and I've actually had people come to me that thought they were going to be challenging or whatever. And of course, all of you, even in these teachings, I'll find myself unconscious. That's, no. I'm not sitting here going, oh, they're scratching their head or they're moving their, ooh, I'm reading their body language. No, that's not what we do. There's a living vibratory record that people call the Akasha, or Akashic records, and it's not a big mystical thing. And that's a funny thing too. A lot of people, they'll advertise, oh, I do Akasha readings. Okay, good. The Akashic records. What the Akashic records are, again, it's a Sanskrit kind of word, and in the Bible and in different religions, they call it the Lamb's Book of Life. They, you know, and in the ancient times, people used to think there's little angels sitting down, writing down. It's kind of like Santa's elves. You were bad today, you were good today. People recording like everything you're doing. No, guess what? What you do, feel, say, think, emanate is the living record. Nobody's sitting down writing it. There's no judge and jury up there going, hey, I'm observing this person and they took that pencil, or or they were mean to this person today, or they helped this person. No, you are the tree of life. You are your Akashic record, because literally everything is frequency. So when you think good thoughts, positive thoughts, that's what goes out in a living record. And it's very, very real. The Lamb's Book of Life, it's called many things in many cultures, but you are your living record. And so that's how people read frequencies. That's the level. That's where when I connect with a person. As a matter of fact, that's one of my biggest problems. Don't ever get offended if I don't remember your name, because even with my own family. So I'm sitting here and I'm going, Allison, you must have been another name to me, because I always go, okay, no. I never think you're Allison. I never think you're Melissa. It's the weirdest thing, really. So I'm always going, what's their name? I see people as energy, and it's always been hard for me with names, because I think I must have known people by their names or something. But I see people as energy fields, and when I'm in that connecting, we're one, and I'm connecting with you, that's how I can empathically reflect what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing. But I also have a way of getting a bigger picture where I'm not reading. Some readers will they'll read what you want them to tell you, or they'll read from their own ego experiences. And so this woman's dead now, so I can talk about her. She was a very famous palmist, and I knew her when I was a very young girl, and when I first moved back into this area, when I moved from New York. Very well known, went all over the world, amazing palmist, but she kind of drank quite a bit. I didn't know it. I thought she was drinking iced tea. She was drinking rum and Coke all the time. Found out later. So I find, and I kind of learned a lot about palmistry and different things. So she's really fat. She was a way older woman when I met her, and she was a trip. And when she was still in the good stage, and then not have been, drinking some, she was the most amazing palmist. And when she would get a few, I guess, I didn't realize they were rum and Coke, so people told me later. So nice. She would say, your husband's cheating on you, because that's what her husband did to her. You're going to get divorced. She'd start reading from her life experience. I mean, and I saw it firsthand after knowing her for a few months. I was like, oh my God, this is not good. And I'll never forget, one day she told me, you're going to die, blah, blah, blah. And I knew she was real jealous of me. It was like, I got it, what was going on. And there's a lot of people, they don't realize they're even doing it. So for years afterwards, I'd get people and they go, or she'd get mad. She'd go, you're going to die tomorrow. Or she really kind of as she got older, got kind of crazy crazy. And so I would be doing readings and people would be coming in and they go, oh my God, I just saw this person and they told me my husband was, I go, eh. Or, you would be the same story, right? And you knew. And it's a human condition, because a lot of people will read as you learn how to go into higher frequency and don't have attachment with what you're seeing, you'll get a truer reading. But people it's subjective reality. So even in the psychic realm, again, there's many higher realms. There's astral, there's very bigger realms you can read from. But people will reflect their experiences, so always remember that. And it's the same thing for yourself. As you start to, because a lot of you out there I know throw down tarot, or you do different things, you took the runes, and there's nothing wrong with that. When I lived in New York City, again, I had this fabulous person that I knew, that just through amazing ways would go to his Friday night. Paul Brofman, I'm sure he's passed over by now. He's a fabulous guy. And he read tarot, but I knew right away he wasn't reading tarot. I knew he was making people comfortable by looking at the cards, right? And really what tarot is a rota wheel.
I always feel negative with those. Like
Yeah,
they make
right.
me very nervous.
Right.
And I always get extremely high anxiety. And the last reading I ever had with that,
Right.
the girl goes, "Your thoughts of me is of the devil." And honestly, exactly that's what I was thinking in my mind.
And we'll see what happens. This is the pitfall of astrology, numerology, tarot, runes. They're interesting. But you can read a rock in the road. You can read anything. But people get dogmatic. They go, no, the book says this. And really, this is where I was going with the tarot story. Because I think it can be a very low trap for people to get trapped in. And it's not, in the first couple of years of my work, kabillion years ago, I've been in this 43 years, I would throw down the tarot and I realized I was just doing it to make people comfortable. But really what the tarot was, as the oral traditions came down of the true stories of the bloodline of Mary Magdalene and Jesus, and that they were all the hidden secret teachings of all ages, they had to be told in oral form because people were being, by the 4th century, were being killed, were being murdered and exterminated. They developed these 78 cards, and if there's 56, and there's 20 of that's where we get the playing cards now, but in each of the cards, the high priestess, the emperor, the other things, they represent, there's hidden symbology of ancient stories that have truths in them. And it's very interesting to read about those, because instead of throwing down cards, you might want to read what tarot really is, or what rota really is, because they were really the way they had to hide secret knowledge that you would be killed for. So, but there's higher ways. So don't get trapped. And the same thing with astrology. It's very real. It's interesting. But because you're this sign or that sign doesn't mean it's not written in stone. They're aspects of things. You're a whole being. And again, we're in this new paradigm of wholeness. And you're going to find reflections of yourself in different ways. And you're going to start to, it's like physician, heal thyself. You're going to find yourself more and more as you remove illusion, as you stay centered. You're going to find yourself being able to really tune into your own inner guidance. And intuition truly is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. So let's do a little meditation. This won't be a long one. We're going to do just a little one. And we're going to really focus on this idea of being and being safe in accordance with each person's free will and highest good. We ask the bodies to align. It's safe to be who you are. It's safe to be a spiritual being in a physical body on the earth at this time. We want you all to know and feel this beautiful, unbroken circle of spirit, of life that will never be broken. There is no beginning and there is no end. I am Alpha, I am Omega. I am the beginning and I am the end. Only one energy. And I want you to imagine yourself in the middle of your circle, your magic, beautiful circuits of energy, beautiful glowing circle of unending life. There's no need to fragment and go out of yourself and find things, to experience certain things anymore. Get off the merry-go-round. The merry-go-round has stopped. Get off of it. Stay centered. Get off the ride. Just see yourself getting off that merry-go-round. and walking over to this beautiful, glowing, never-ending circle of life. And I want you just to sit down in the middle of that circle. Some of you might be envisioning a beautiful field of green grass, or everybody's circle is going to probably look different, but you want to be stationary. You want to know that you are the tree of life. You want to know that it's safe to magnetically plant yourself in the middle of that circle and have the faith to know that what you need, what you want, what your next things are supposed to be will be attracted to you. We all know what we don't want to repeat anymore. Let it go. I want you just to sit for a moment and think about the ride you've been on, the things that you've been saying to yourself over and over again. I don't want this anymore. I don't want to do it this way anymore. I don't want this to be my life anymore. I can't stand this anymore. Feel it and let it go and know that it isn't you. And if you truly don't want it to be anymore, it won't be. Let it go. I want you to feel the fatigue, the worry, the stress, the burdens we all go through of fear, of loneliness, fear of lack, fear that we won't have, that we can't do something, that things are never going to change. Let it go. And I want you to feel and know that encoded in every cell of your body is your divine blueprint. And you are this beautiful being of light. And I want you to feel the magnetic properties you have that are here to attract all that you need, all that you want. We ask the illusion of separation to be removed. And I want you to feel, again, from the bottoms of your feet up, I want you to feel that connection with the earth and to know how safe it is to be on the earth at this time. I want you to feel the energy moving up from the earth through the bottoms of your feet, up into every cell of your body, up through the top of your head. Just pull that magnetic energy of the earth. This root system that binds you to the earth is good, it's positive, it's life-giving. Let that energy move up through you. And the great mystery is that we are of the earth and we are of the heavens. And as you feel that magnetic pull of the Mother, I want you to feel the electrical energy of the Divine Father coming down from the stars, from the sky. We are stardust, we are golden. We've got to get back to the garden. The garden, and the truth is, the earth is star-seeded from many, many, many places in the universe, and you are from the stars. It's how the life forces have begun. I want you to imagine that you have this incredible connection with a star. All of you have your own star. And I want you to feel that electricity. It's being attracted down Put that star on your head and just feel that electrical energy going down and meeting that magnetic energy of the mother. And it's creating new life force in your body. It's safe to let go of your pain. It's safe to let go of the crutches, of the things that you've held on to that have now become solidified in the body. In a moment and a twinkling of the eye, healing will manifest. I want you to open and know that encoded in every cell of your body is your true divine blueprint, and it's powerful. We ask all pictures of death to be turned into pictures of life, all pictures of fear to be transmuted into pictures of unconditional love and truth. And I want you to feel that energy, that new life force, the interaction of the mother and the father, the yin and the yang, the incredible love that you were created from, moving through the body, mind, and spirit. We ask for restoration of the body, mind, and spirit. We ask the toxicity in all levels of our body, minds, and spirits to come forward, to be cleansed, to be removed. We ask for any tentacles, any negative umbilical cords that on any level are binding us to things that are codependent, dysfunctional, toxic. I want you to feel, and you may even be feeling them in your body right this moment, anywhere you're sensing, feeling pain, feeling discomfort, feeling things that you're holding on to, let it go. And again, you're in this beautiful circle. You're safe. You're protected. You're pulling nurturing energy not only from up from the earth, you're pulling this beautiful star energy, this beautiful electrical energy down through your body. So again, we ask the last of whatever is not of the light, the cords that have captured you, the places that you are feeling sorry for yourself or taking things personally, or feeling sorry for others, or all the hooks of codependence and dysfunction that we get trapped into, all the agreements we have that are not spiritual, that are based on neediness. We ask those to come forward to be removed. And in this moment, we ask the great Archangel Michael to sever all negative cords that are binding you. There's a mighty sword cutting, 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 cutting all around you. Anything of the body, mind, and spirit that's keeping you bound, you're being set free. Old belief systems, old dreams that are no longer for your highest good. Expectations, disappointments. Attachment that's bringing sorrow, that's bringing negativity. Let it go. Again, feel what a giant being of light that you are. And I want you to feel, again, that root chakra, the color black. It's in the perineum part of the body. It's also connected to the tailbone. I want you to feel that giant root, black root energy. It's a taproot. It goes down deep, deep, deep into the earth. We're walking trees. And I want you to ask the last of weaknesses, addictions, compulsions, attachment that's going nowhere. Ask these things to leave the body, mind, and spirit. We ask for a cleansing of the depression, of the denied emotions, of the things you've pulled down and have harbored and have not felt safe enough to let it go. Let it go. Let it drain down through your body, and the earth will neutralize it. Let it go, let it go, let it go. The heaviness. When we have the negative thoughts, it will just shut your energy down. Just let all the negative energy go. And I want you to know and feel that beautiful red color. We want to ask for a healing of the judgment of the color red. Red has so many positive and negative connections. We want to have that color red, that second chakra, again, in the reproductive area of the body. It's not just about sexuality, reproduction. It is your co-creative center. And I want you to feel the power of the red blood of life going into every cell of your being, cleansing. This is the new blood, the new life. It's got amazing energy in it. Cleansing out the miasms, cleansing out the weaknesses, cleansing out the bacteria, the dark things that dwell in our bodies that we need to be healed of physically, the dis-ease. We all have cancer cells, they tell us. We ask for those to be transmuted away from the body, mind, and spirit. We ask for a cleansing of our blood, a cleansing. Let all those pictures of death go. And when you feel this co-creative energy, because many of you have wonderful, wonderful abilities with creating. And when we don't create, it becomes destructive. It's safe to create. It's safe to co-create. Safe to bring all of your powers of creation and create your reality from this cleansed, sacred, spiritual, centered space. And I want you to feel coming up from that red energy, right below the navel is what we call the Buddhic or the Christ flame. And it's the color of orange and purple and yellow. And I want you to imagine, just like when you're turning on a gas stove, you turn that knob, and what does it do? It ignites that ring. So I want you just to see this whole solar plexus area of the body being ignited by that flame right below the navel. This is your central sun. I want you to feel that beautiful solar plexus, stomach area. It's nothing to be ashamed of. This is your power center. Be in your body. Be in your center. Let that energy go into the digestive tract, into transmuting all the things we've taken into the body that are impurities. Ask the body to be alchemically shifted into the wholeness, into the purity. We ask all the blocks, all the pain. So many people have stomach issues and because they've stuffed their feelings, they've pushed them down. Many people don't let go of things, and this is where you have other problems. You don't eliminate properly. You want to hang on to things. So let this central sun just transmute and burn away dis-ease, discomfort, pain, blocks. I want you to feel the energy moving up to not only the heart, but your whole chest, the breasts, the shoulders, this whole area of your body, filling with green emerald light. I want you to imagine the most beautiful color of green, filling the chest, filling the heart, cleansing the heart of attachment, of neediness, of relationships that are based on usury, based on need, based on matching pictures to suffering, matching pictures to prove what you think about yourself in not a good way. A lot of who we attract, what we attract, till we heal it, we're attracting people to be critical or to control or say things about us or to us that we really truly feel about ourselves that are negative. It's a hard thing to understand, and sometimes it's coming from a very deep, deep subconscious place. We ask for this beautiful pink energy of unconditional love to go down deep and penetrate the hurt, the pain, the loneliness, the neediness, the illusion of being alone, of being abandoned, of being rejected, hurt. The scars in the heart, let them be opened. Let the wounds be opened. Let all of that toxic energy out of there. Unconditional love does not hurt. Conditional love does. Conditional love is based on fear. I will love you if you do this. I will love you if you don't do that. I want you to feel the difference between the two. And I want you to let that beautiful energy pierce your heart. That no matter what somebody else is feeling, saying, thinking about you, it doesn't rob your joy. It doesn't take anything. Your happiness, your openness is not based on if you have somebody in your life or how someone feels about you or does not feel about you. I want you to know how loved you are by the Divine Mother, Divine Father, how needed you are, how cherished you are on this earth at this time. And I want you to feel the sacredness of your heart. The inner psyche of a male is female, the inner psyche of a female is male. I want you to connect and make peace with the inner male, female. I want you to know we all have yin yang, and I want you to feel that union. We ask from the deepest parts of our subconscious mind or things from long ago, the patterning. We ask this healing of the illusion of separation, this healing of the division of male-female, healing the enmity and purposely created enmity between male-female. Except a woman become a man, she cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. Except a man become a woman, he cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. This is about the union of the male-female, the yin-yang. I want you to be the lover of your own soul. I want you to know the search for the beloved, for the soulmate, is a true yearning for the wholeness and oneness with God, inside of yourself and outside of yourself. I want you to feel how whole you are. You are not fragmented. You are not damaged. You are not alone. You are not isolated. You are loved. Become that love. Feel that love. Feel that magnetic energy. Feel that actualization of unconditional love moving through your body, through every cell of your body. Imagine attracting not only the one-on-one relationship, but friends and people you work with, and that you will attract to yourself people who are actualizing unconditional love, people that are choosing this higher path and are spiraling up. We're all finding each other. And let go of those who would rob you of your joy. Let go of the reflections to the shadow self. Let it go. And I want you to feel the energy moving up through the throat, the sapphire blue. And ironically enough, the color of the Archangel Michael and his mighty band of angels is the sapphire electrical blue energy. I want you to feel this blue, fabulous, alive, electrical blue energy moving up through your throat. It's safe to speak your truth. It's safe to speak your mind. It's safe to speak up for yourself and others. It's safe to know that you have a voice. I want you to feel the power of that throat chakra. I want you to feel that energy moving up through your ears. It's safe to hear the truth. It's safe to hear with the inner ear. It's safe to feel empathically. I want you to feel the energy moving through your teeth and gums. There's a lot of problems people are having with teeth and gums right now. Feel that stagnation leaving. Feel that activation of life force into those teeth and gums. We ask for the draining of the poisons from that part. It's safe to let go of gossip, to let go of backbiting, of criticism, of judgment of yourself, of others. It's like the scriptures say, it's not what goes in our mouth, it's what comes out. Be very aware of what you say, how you say things. And again, not as a show, but what is your motive and intention when you're saying things. It's not about, okay, I'm going to say something, make it sound like it's positive, but I'm really thinking a negative thought. It doesn't work that way. Again, everything, you go back to point of origin, it's about motive and intention. And I want you to feel the energy moving up into the pineal pituitary gland, into the third eye. There's 2 points in the forehead. They're like pulse points. It's the inner eye. It's safe to see with the inner eye. And I want you to visualize the most beautiful violet color. Beautiful red violet color going through your body. Let this energy just move all through your body. It's the color of spirit. It's actually the color of spirit. Feel this energy moving. It's safe to see in a correct way that's right for you. We ask for a safe opening of the third eye. We want this furnace, these first three chakras, and then the heart and the throat, and all to be open to support the safe way of opening and feeling empathically and seeing with the inner eye and hearing with the inner ear, to come in true ways of guidance through Holy Spirit. I want you to feel the top of the head, the crown chakra. That's why when you're born, it's called the baby's crowning. And your babies are born with soft spots in their head. That's their spiritual umbilical cord, where you come and go. That's why in different religions there's a shaving of the top of the head, or a wearing of the yarmulke, or a covering. This is a very sacred. This is when you're born and when you die. This is where you come and go. When you sleep, when you go into different dimensional states, you come and go in the silver cord that connects you to many other dimensional states and many other chakral systems. And this is the color of that royal purple color. And I want you to imagine if you were the king and queen, and you are, of your own life, your own realm. What does your crown look like? I want you to put a crown on your head. And in the ancient times, people wore crowns not just as an ornament. The different metals they used and the different stones that were selected and the symbols connected that electrical energy and that magnetic energy, and it was a conduit. So I want you to imagine what your beautiful crown that's on your head looks like. Use your imagination, and you could create this beautiful crown. What colors are there? What metals are there? What energies are there? And feel that crown being this conduit between heaven and earth, bringing in the energy, attracting that energy down through the body and through your circle and through the world. We feel the presence of our loved ones, our ancestors. We feel the presence of all sentient beings. We send this healing energy out to the world, to the universe, to all the millions of people out there who are open and connect in these same ways that we're doing right now. We release this positive energy. We send it out and we receive it back. And again, in accordance with each person's free will and highest good, it's safe to remember who you are. It's safe to have your life filled with joy, happiness, fulfillment. It's safe to manifest your destiny. And as you return to the consciousness of this space, this room, bring with you all that you know and have learned and have experienced, and return in a way of healing and remembering, cleansing, receiving, being. Feel refreshed, renewed, free from the burdens. We ask the peace that passes all understanding to come into the heart, mind, body, and spirit. Wow. Mhm. How's everybody doing?
That was wild.
It was a wild journey.
I started crying.
Yeah,
because
that's
I
good.
saw my family for the first time. It was the weirdest thing.
What did you see?
And when you told me to imagine us in a circle, it was like all of a sudden I was like in fields where I've seen other people's deceased animals come to me. And I'm like, God, this looks familiar. And I was spinning and spinning, and I was getting, there was like a lot of gold light. And then all of a sudden my grandfather, he's like, Michelle, and everybody's coming at me, just
Wow.
hugging me. But what really brought me to tears, and they just would not stop. I'm not unhappy. Here comes my dog, Bear, just galloping, and the hair and the gray. And I was just like, and jumped up on me, and it was just like I could not stop crying. And it wasn't like of sadness. It was like I haven't seen my mom. She hasn't come to me in a long time, and I haven't seen my grandfather or my grandmother, for that matter.
It's a circle of life.
Yeah,
The circle of life. And there's no ending, there's no beginning. I felt the spiraling. All of a sudden, I was getting dizzy. It was like we were in the circle and we were moving. And that's what I felt. I felt this is huge sense of all of our relation, all of the ancestors, all of the sentient beings, all of life forms. And it's so, what a wonderful experience for you.
Because you want that to happen, but you can't.
You can't make it happen. Nope.
And it's been a long time. And I was just like, oh my Lord. And then to have my grandfather, and then my grandmother, and then my
I'm so happy
and
for
then
you.
My dog. I was like, oh my gosh, Bear.
Wow.
I was just like, yeah, it was amazing.
The illusion is that
Yeah.
they don't exist anymore.
That was weird. Because I wasn't.
They're all with us.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't even know.
Well, you were taken into a space. That's exactly, is really interesting because the whole, we were all taken up in spirit, and the energies, and it's still here and moving.
Yeah.
But that's the most magical thing, and to have that happen, a lot of times it will happen to us in a dream state. You know, you go in a dream,
That's
you're going,
when it always happens.
Yeah, you're going, oh my God, there's somebody, there's my dog, there's my cat, there's my dad, there's my, you know, and then it's fleeting and you wake up and you know, but to have it happen in this type of meditative space is extremely powerful, because that's the way it's going to be more and more as we're healing the illusion. I'm awake, I'm asleep, they're dead, I'm alive, they're in heaven, I'm on the earth. As we're healing and knowing that that separation is not real, you're going to have more and more and more in your waking state those kind of experiences.
Nice.
Yes, and this is the thing. We can be in a state of ecstasy. We can be in a state of this high consciousness all the time. The lie and the illusion is that we can't. That's why you see some of the great saints and masters and the different people, and like they've all said, you can do all that I've done and more. I'm just showing you the way. They're in this ecstatic, peaceful place. This is not just something that, you know, certain people achieve. We have the ability to be in that magical, wonderful, connected state all the time. When you gave yourself permission to be in that space and go there, and there they all were.
I didn't expect anybody, because I'm focusing on myself, and that's what brought me to tears. It's like, wait a minute.
It was like you're going, I want to see this person,
and they
I
weren't
want this
just
to happen.
standing off. They were literally running towards me with their arms open. And that's the part that was shocking, because I have a hard time meditating, but this whole time I could actually literally see purple in a bright light, and it just start to expand, almost like, just keep, and it would keep flashing off and on. That's what I got through the whole thing, and it would get small, and then it would go really big.
And that's why, you know, for 30-some years I've done these guided meditations. It's nothing you read in the book. This is nothing I study. This is whatever Spirit tells me to do. We do it with the group. And it's powerful, because people have this misperception about meditation, you know, that you have to learn this technique, or you have to, like, you know, get in these weird positions and you know, yoga positions, or you have to, your mind has to be quiet. There's a power in the spoken word, and the lower mind wants, and the subconscious mind sometimes wants to be guided. And so and there's a power that speaking the things that are spoken about and guiding the meditation, people that have had problems meditating or have never meditated, or even people that meditate all the time, it's a powerful thing because you're right there with it, and you're a very creative person, so you're zoning right into
too hyper. I just don't think I can get there.
Right, but see, you did.
Yeah, and that's the first time here, but it's like every week I could rationalize other things I have to do, but I've made a commitment to myself to come every week to get centered. And
you did. You got the best experience of all. You got that's a good thing.
Was huge.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing that, because that is a magnificent thing to have happen.
Yeah, you just feel so whole, and I just feel like I'm on the right path. Like, to me, it was definitely validation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what happens is when we experience things in a group setting like this, and that's what I kept feeling the more we were spinning and going up. I felt all over the earth and all over the universe how there's so many others like us that are connected, and how connected we are, and how we forget that there's this network, there's this mapping, this intricate connection of energy fields, that when we meet as a group and when others are meeting as a group and we're a like mind, it's so powerful, and it so helps manifest into this level that message of love and truth and positive energy and actualization of unconditional love. And again, that healing of illusion of death and separation. Because it is one of the hardest things that we go through, is that loss of the physical form of something or someone. And so when you have an experience like that, and you absolutely know, and again, like you said, you weren't looking for it. That's the most wonderful thing many times, is it's when we're least expecting it is when you'll have a very powerful experience. Like I said, I get people all the time, they're like, I pray, I meditate, why is this person not talking to me? It's like, just let go of how it's going to happen to you. Sometimes we have expectations, you know.
Is that why it happened? Because I've been letting go of a lot of stuff. I'm going through, I feel like I'm going through the mess. You've made me realize not to be afraid. It's really, really messy. It's going to be scary, but just keep going through it, so I can find the other opportunities on the other side.
And what happens, we've been so conditioned, it's so overwhelming when things are messy and painful and hurtful, and you're
stepping back.
And it pushes you. But when you know that you just keep moving through it, just go, because it will transmute. That's how we get captured. It's very easy to get captured through fear, and captured in other people's crap that they're projecting, and that they're trying to, games they're playing or things they're doing. And that's why it was so important, that one part of the meditation that we did is to get rid of attachment. And I talked about this on Facebook, but it's a very valid thing. The difference between feeling sorry for and compassion. When we feel sorry for ourselves, when we feel sorry for others, there's attachment. And the attachment is always a matching picture to some kind of dysfunction. And when we connect in a way of feeling sorry for self or others, it keeps us in codependence and dysfunction, and it's draining. And especially people who are victims, they will end up victimizing you, and you'll end up getting just sucked down into stuff. But the true path of compassion is non-attachment. It doesn't mean you don't care, but you care about yourself and the other person and everything in a way that's about unconditional love, and it doesn't have attachment to an outcome. It's not about a need to rescue, a need to help. We see this all the time in animal rescue, and it's not everybody, but I know you'll agree. A lot of people that do animal rescue are rescuing themselves, and they find themselves through it. But a lot of people that do animal rescue, you'll actually go into their actual space where they live, and they're not taking care of themselves at all.
Mhm.
And they're very damaged people who are not working on themselves. They just want to rescue, and some of them become hoarders. You'll go and they have massive amount of animals, and they think that they have this need to save and feel sorry and rescue. There's lots of this happens all the time on Facebook. People do all this big, then they actually go to these people. You're giving money, and you think, oh, this is great, and then you find out they've got these animals, like, they've got them in cages, warehouse.
It's
It's
disgusting.
creepy, but they don't get it. They don't see it because it's their need. It's that they're trapped in a magic picture. They're identifying with the wounded animal, or they're identifying with the storyline of what it is. But instead, or what, this happens all the time. I've had to really watch myself. Or you'll see a lot of people that do animal stuff, and they're online a lot about it. And I always think, okay, where are your own dogs and cats? But they're probably going, hey, what about me? What about me? Why are you looking at these cats on picture? Why are you looking at these? Why are you reading these stories? They're interesting, but hey,
You should post that. You
yeah,
should
I
post
will.
that.
I did a long time ago. Yeah, I will, because it's very real, and
Yeah.
it's an easy trap to get into, because but it's so funny because I know it's true. I absolutely, beyond a doubt, know that that's true. So it's, again, being in your life, and the more you heal, the more you'll know what animal, what person, how to give, but it won't be in a way that is usury for them or you, or where it's detrimental or toxic. It'll be when people are in a true state of compassion, people get healed. We always think of compassion being like Mother Teresa or the Dalai Lama or Jesus, or we all have the ability to have the path of compassion. But love your neighbor as yourself. You can't love your neighbor any better than you love yourself. If you're not happy, you can't make other people happy, and other people won't make you happy. You have to make yourself happy, and it's not in a selfish, narcissistic way. It's doing deep work and really knowing that within your being you have the ability to be whole, that everything is inside, it's not out there. And that's where you want to be. See yourself in the middle of the circle, and the magnet attracting that, and knowing that within you and without you and around you and all, there's no separation, and that your true connection with love and with the beloved is attainable, and it's simple. It's not somebody else coming to make you happy. You'll always be miserable if you're waiting for somebody else to make you happy. It won't. You'll be disappointed, because you will only attract to yourself what you really feel about yourself, or how you're treating yourself. And it's a hard thing to grasp at first, but the more you really go within and think about these things, you'll know how true it is. You just know how true it is. So, any other questions? Okay.
Kelly asked, how will I know I'm living and being my highest purpose, and also for the greatest good of humanity?
By your fruits you will know them. Also it's going to get harder and harder to not be who you really are and be in a fulfilled space. So when you're feeling uncomfortable or miserable, you're getting a reflection that something, it's not right. So, and it's, again, we don't have to go off to foreign lands to be missionaries, or we don't have to, we get these concepts of what spiritual work is, or what all these things are. Our daily lives, in your path, you will, whatever you're supposed to connect with, it's how you live your life and connect with who and what is presented every day. You'll find fulfillment. You'll get immediate reflections of that wholeness, of that that you're on your right path. And if you're not on the true path for yourself, you will keep feeling a discomfort, and you'll keep being nudged to go on. But it's a great question, but don't be overwhelmed with it, because a lot of people go, oh my God, that's like a really big thing. How do I? It's really about being authentic. It's about getting rid of anything in your life that is no longer right. This can be people, objects, ways of thinking, ways of doing things. Clean your house. Take responsibility. Don't blame others. Don't take it personally. Work with just being and forgiving yourself. And then the path, it unfolds. It's just right there. That's a great question. Yeah.
I have a question about what you were talking with, like person being in a relationship and how, well, let me just explain it to you this way. I was married for 13 years. He was the love of my life.
I was too.
But
13 seems to be a number
It wasn't
that people.
a real relationship. So now I'm remarried, but it's not the same for me. And I'm trying to explain this to people, but I can't get them to understand the feeling that I have and stuff and how it is, because I feel like I really am in love with them, and now people are starting to question me, and now I'm feeling kind of confused.
So you're saying, well,
Because I feel comfortable about my marriage now, in that he treats me like princess. Whatever I want, he does, and I try to give back, but I don't give as given as he is and stuff, and I'm trying to learn.
is he very different than the first marriage?
yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it's night and day.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I think I have a hard time. I think once you love somebody, you love people, and I think we love people in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have this concept that we can only, if we love this one person, then somehow we shouldn't ever feel love again for them if we're with somebody else. And it's not that way.
Yeah.
We love people in different ways. And once people are in your heart, you just love them, and people that we attract people for different eras of our life and for different purposes. And were you worried at first that you didn't, because it felt different than it was the first marriage, that it was?
Oh, yeah, I told him for 3 months no.
Okay.
He chased me for 3 months, and I said, no, I can't date you. No. For 3 months, and then we would go out as a group. So he made sure he was like involved in that group so he could be around me. Yeah.
That's neat, though.
And so we became kind of friends and stuff, and would talk. And actually, our first date was for my kids. It wasn't even really us; it was my kids. He took us all to the fair, but I wouldn't let him pay for anything because it wasn't a date.
Right.
You
Gotcha.
know?
Right.
So that's how it kind of started, and then from there it went on to actually dating and stuff like that. And then 3 years later we got married.
See, it's a different journey, because sometimes you meet people and it's just this immediate blah. You throw yourself into stuff, and
that's how it was with my first husband.
Right. Did you have children? You had children with that person. So a lot of times we have spiritual contracts, and sometimes it's about the children, and that's why sometimes there's a lot of passion with people. And then you have your kids, and it's kind of like, who are you and what was I thinking? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's because, again, the driving force was to procreate or to have the children. There's different reasons we're attracted. And this is you have your children, and it sounds to me like he's very good to your children as well. Yeah. It's a different type. There's so many different types of love. And the good thing about this, too, it sounds like you're learning about yourself, right? And you're learning about we don't have to, And that's the thing. You don't want to feel guilty. If somebody's showering you with all this stuff and you're feeling weird about it, or you're feeling like, okay, why am I not,
Yeah, and that was the other part.
And people
too,
will
'cause
judge
when
you, too.
First started talking
is Kitty,
about it.
is Kitty okay? Kitty's good? Okay.
When you first started talking about things, I've been like feeling kind of guilty because I'm not. I used to be very affectionate, but when we got together, I didn't know how to be with him.
That's a
So
different,
for 4
different
years, I
person.
haven't been affectionate with him, and then I've just been kind of going through all this stuff, and I was like, well, I really need to be affectionate because it's not fair to him to know that I love and care about him. So Monday, I can't cuddle because I get really, really hot. And he's like,
seriously, your hands are like red.
he's like, well, as soon as I put my hands on him, he's like, I'm fire. So Monday.
That could be a good thing. Just saying.
Monday
Are you going through?
finally cuddled with him and everything, and he was so. I'm trying to find that affection again, and
Do you feel like because of past relationships or because of the marriage that you were shut down, or that was just
it was kind of how he is and how he we didn't need that to be in love. It wasn't about that kind of love anymore.
Right.
It's about a friendship and that,
Right. And that it's interesting the different paths that relationships will take. But what I'm kind of getting with this, I think you're going to go into a really passionate part of the relationship. And I've seen this happen with people. We've all had those relationships. We think it's going to be this, and it is really on fire for a while, and then the fire goes out. I'm going to Jackson. They write songs about it. And, and then sometimes I've seen it with people who been friends or go into marriages, and then all of a sudden there's another level of connectedness and intimacy that comes in. And that's what it sounds like, because I think it feels like maybe you didn't even trust because of some past things that happened to you. It might have been molestation, abuse, or the way somebody else treated you, that you shut down, or you didn't feel worthy because this person was giving this love. It can make you almost feel unworthy, and you're healing that. But see, that's a great realization, and it sounds like he's a wonderful person.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everybody has their downfalls
sure.
and everything, but yeah, because I guess it is hard for me because I've never had somebody that does treat me the way he does.
Right. When you're not used to that, it can almost make you feel like, what's wrong with you? Or what's wrong with me? Or because you're used to somebody not being nice or being weird. Or it feels weird to have nice. And that's what's sad, isn't it?
She acts different and strange, so you don't really know, what's going on, but it's a good thing for her. Because he doesn't smolder her.
Well, because I feel like I can be myself and do the things
you feel
that
safe
I
to be you.
He doesn't care if she goes, buys a bank and runs it. I'm just not going to do it with you. Go have at it.
Right.
Yeah. But he doesn't get insecure about it.
Right.
So.
Right. But then it takes getting used to if you were with somebody that was very controlling before.
Yes.
Because you were with a very controlling person before I can feel it. And so what happens when we're out of control, we will attract controlling people to ground us. The safer you feel with your own power or your own, that it's safe to not be controlled, then you'll attract what you've attracted, somebody that doesn't want to control you because you're more into your own empowerment.
And that's how I have felt, that I do I've come to a lot of realizations and dealt with a lot of things. So I do feel more grounded than I ever have, and happy.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes it doesn't seem like it, but I think it's more because there's so much stuff going on.
Right. Hey, look,
So.
kitty. Hey, look, kitty. Come here.
Now, you said you use your gut instinct when you're making decisions in your life, just to go with your gut feeling.
He says, I want to be on the Ustream.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. I want to be on the Ustream. Oh, you are beautiful. What are you going to call this baby?
Well, when I was in my meditation, the name Sabrina, she was She was
Oh, Sabrina's
called
purring.
Sabrina before,
Oh,
and she was telling me Sabrina.
she's purring. I think she likes the name Sabrina. Oh, beautiful kitty. You're beautiful. Yes, you are. Oh, what a love. She's like,
She is.
She
she's
hugged
a,
me.
she's a
She
hugger.
wrapped her arms around you and she okay.
He's a
hers.
hug.
Yeah.
How she's doing it. It's like amazing.
Hey, baby. Oh, oh baby. I'm gonna put you so people can see. Beautiful Sabrina. She is beautiful. Oh, beautiful. You are. And she's wonderful.
Yeah.
She has the best energy.
Yeah.
We used to always have kitty cats here when, for years, when we did the oracles, we had a cat named King. And he was the most magnificent cat. And he would hang out and he would chase negative energy away. He'd seem like chasing stuff. We'd be doing meditation all the time. Here comes King, and he'd be grabbing the energy and transmuting it. So funny. And she's gorgeous. She is. She really likes you. That's what she told me. Animals love this place. They feel the energy in here, so she's exploring and just hanging out. It's good. No, this is a wonderful night because there's a lot of things are shifting, and I'm sure you're feeling the energy, the difference between even the last oracle. What's happening is we're all changing, growing, shifting. There's just a transmutation that's going on. Do the two of you get to go away? Do you get to go on trips or go anywhere? Create that, even if it's overnight, one day.
Well, he is actually. We just got a trail RV,
Uh-huh.
and
Oh,
he's
neat.
wanting to fix it up so we can start going on small.
Little trips.
I can't with my
Yeah.
work and stuff. I can
Sure.
only be gone on the weekends.
Right.
So he actually did say that.
Yeah, do that.
So
And what's interesting, though, to me, I think something is going to change with your work in that way where you will be available on weekends.
yeah,
It's not yeah.
I figured that was happening.
Yes. Because you need to be connecting with him and the kids, and yeah. It's going to change, and it won't be a scary change. It won't be a bad change. There'll be other things that will open. It'll be fine. There won't be a loss. Because that's our first thing to think, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job, or I'm going to lose money because I make more money if I work on it won't be like that. The right thing will happen. Because that's what I feel like the next stage is. You're getting comfortable with all this. That's what's going to happen. You're going to have that comfort of, wanting to have time to not be busy all the time. Like I said, sometimes we find a lot of safety in working,
Yeah.
I know all about it. Yeah. So.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
I had something that's a connection through my family in Australia to me, and then to my sister, but it could be job related. Do you think that right now that that's a good time for me to take on this in Denver? I feel very strongly about it and extremely excited. My sister's excited, and the connection with my family in Australia and the possibilities. It would be going definitely
On a trip there.
No,
going-
it would be, yes, there would be trips later, but it would be more about marketing something here in the
Yeah,
States.
do it. No, I think by August you're going to be thrilled. Start laying the groundwork now. It feels like April through
I have been in
August.
Australia time for days now.
Yeah,
I'm
okay, because it
exhausted.
looks like
Mhm.
I feel it, but that's okay.
But it's all good.
It's present time, so yeah, I
Mhm.
feel it actually will end up being a couple of different products, or it's like it branches out into something else.
Yeah.
It's
Well, the name is Nibbly Bites.
Nibba Bites.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, what's
It's
that?
fashion, funky jewelry for moms that is plastic safe for babies so that they can wear really cool necklaces. But it's
Wow,
actually a teething. And it's already
Ooh.
been manufactured and developed, and it's
that's
packaged.
very cool.
And my cousin Danielle,
I
who
like
was a
it.
recording artist, and she had her first son Max a couple years ago, and was kind of disgusted that a lot of the stuff we let our kids chew
Oh
on.
God, it's
are
from China.
very-
It's toxic. It's
So-
terrible, but it's true. Oh
But
my God.
anyway, so we're gonna approach Nordstrom's, my sister and I.
Awesome. Go for it. I love it.
So I don't know. My brother says I'm dreaming too big.
Don't listen to him. You've always had men that say that to you.
I know. I was
So,
like, I didn't let it down. I didn't
just
let it
saying.
like down me, but I thought, okay, am I overlooking reality
No.
right now? Do I have more?
No,
work to
keep
do?
your dreams, but no, of course. I think you could manifest anything.
I don't feel like it's a dream. It's just an opportunity that was given.
I thought you were going to say there was something like if you're hungry, you can say,
Yeah.
that sounds pretty good.
I have, for my daughter, I made an amber TV necklace that she wears. And she
Wow, an
And
amber.
you know, we did research on that, and it's not necessarily good for them.
It's not, and it's not something
the
I ever
amber
all
is
the
not.
time.
Yeah.
Did you give her just for, yeah, but that's
For my
kind of
jade.
cool. I
Well,
like
I
the
have
jade. Well, yeah,
packaged.
any of the, Merlin used to chew on semi-precious stuff of mine. It's
Yeah,
interesting
yeah.
you say that,
she nibbles
because
on-
it's better than a, yeah, but,
Yeah.
right.
on her,
So when it comes
my
in,
jade
I'll show
collar.
it to you. There's even puzzle pieces that moms
Wow.
wear, and they can play with the puzzle.
Mhm.
I mean, you would not believe it. It looks like 80s fashion Madonna jewelry that you would never know was for your.
That is really cool.
Mhm. And
Yeah,
then
and
bangles
it's going to
and-
expand into something else. I feel like there's a whole, like a.
Yeah, she's not done.
No, there's lots of, and I think you'll find, I really feel like there's an investor.
My Aunt Kathy. But
Okay.
see, Danielle had
Okay.
millions of dollars. She was a recording artist. The largest recording.
Awesome.
Yeah, she was the largest recording. I mean, for anybody to get a recording contract from any Australian artist.
So I was going to say, I don't see
So she doesn't have any backing. She's already
Mm,
developed it, manufactured it,
Okay.
done. She did it all herself.
that's awesome. No,
Mhm.
that's even better. No, it feels like that's wonderful.
And she's already paid for the expo in Vegas in October.
Oh, go girls.
I know.
Okay, go ahead.
Annie wants to know, how do I communicate with spirit guide or angels?
Well, again, a lot of what people perceive to be spirit guides and angels are really part of your own being. And again, we've been taught to think so little of ourselves that we think if something is communicating with us, it must be an angel or spirit guide. And if you really look at the true meaning of angels, they're messengers. They were never meant to be worshipped or adored. And it's people get really mad at me because I know a lot of people. And again,
I agree.
it's just not, I mean, do they exist? Of course they do. Is that energy real? Of course there's angels, but they're messengers. And they're not meant to be worshipped. And spirit guides are interesting. Yes, do people have beings or helpers or people who have passed over to help them? Sure. But this is what Spirit told me a long time ago, is that go higher, go, your Aunt Mary or your Uncle John or whoever, yes, will they have another perspective, and do they, because they love you, help you, but do you want to totally rely on that? Why not go to the highest source possible? So since I was a little girl, I knew that I had a direct connection with Holy Spirit, with that part of the Trinity that's that personification that connects with us, a great comforter. And that is what I connect with, and that's what I feel is my connection with God, with Spirit, is the Holy Spirit. It's not a personification of a angelic being or a person or a personage. And again, if people have those, I'm not judging you or putting you down. I'm saying for me, that's what it is. But after 43 years of doing this, I have found that more often than not, what you want to search for, don't worry about the label, angel, the spirit guide. What you want is you want that direct connection with God, with Spirit. And you want to have, we all have a higher self, or this I call it the pilot self. It's this high part of our own consciousness that is a direct link to God. And again, we've been it guides us all the time, but we've had a disconnect, and we have a belief that it's something we can only access through meditation or prayer, or that's actually something else, or it's actually there all the time. And the true meaning of the Aquarian age is that energy is integrated with us and is wanting to become part of our conscious mind, so that you're constantly being guided, and because you're integrated with that spiritual part of yourself. And that's what the Aquarian age is about. It's not a separate thing like will I have this guide? Absolutely, there are protectors and beings that help us. I mean, I've been in a couple of car accidents that I know the whole car filled with light, and so I know that there's protection, and I've seen these kind of things. So really, the search would be to not even think on, just really ask, okay, what's for my highest good? What part of, I want my own high self, my own connection, direct connection with God to guide me and to integrate with me. And you'll be surprised how then that will manifest. That's a good question, because it's one that people ask a lot. So it's a very good one. Well, thank you for all coming tonight. This has been wonderful. As always, the energy, the people, again, there's no separation, and I'm happy to get, a message to people connecting through the internet. Stay centered, stay open, and this energy, this frequency that we are in right now, it's not going to let up. So you might as well just embrace it, because it's not a negative thing. It's activating you. Embrace it. So I'm sending you all love and healing energy. Till next time. Thank you. This was fun. It was very nice, that energy.
It was nice to finish one.